Hey everybody, it's Chris Holcomb and welcome to another episode of Chris Holcomb TV. And this is another terrific Tuesday in a sunny, warm, very warm day of Detroit. Pretty much what I want to do for this episode, which we're going to make it very short and sweet and straight to the point, is for my out-of-country investors, out-of-state, local investors. Most seasoned real estate investors already know that work in this local area. It's pretty much the comparison between brick and frame. And I'm going to do a two-part episode. So this is part one, brick versus frame. And we're just going to compare the pros and cons of each one. And I'm going to show you examples pretty much from an outside point of view, because that's what most people look at when they do drive-bys. Now, if you don't know what a drive-by is, it's pretty much what it means. I drive by the property. I look at the neighborhood, I look at the property. Sometimes if it's occupied, I'll just do that, and then I'll take video of both sides, a couple blocks, so you can get a gist of what the neighborhood looks like, not the block, the neighborhood. If it's vacant, I might get out, take a couple pictures of the property so I can get more understanding of what the property looks like and coincides with the neighborhood. So today we're going to look at it. Right behind me is a brick home. They would call this, I believe, a colonial, because it's got 3 bedrooms upstairs and 1 downstairs. Or no, it's got 3 upstairs, that's it, none downstairs. It also has a garage here. You can see the size of the garage, the backyard behind me also. And what we're going to do pretty much is walk through and talk briefly. Like, this property, like I said, has a garage. That's a plus. In fact, it's a 1.5. It's not a 2-car garage, but that's still a plus, because a lot of people want to use garage for storage. So when you look at anything between brick and frame, if it has a garage, a lot of times it's a plus, but it's not a deal breaker. Now, looking at a brick home, the reason why people prefer brick is because of the longevity. Well, it's 2 reasons. The longevity, because brick homes, like you say, you see out-of-date windows. It's easy to get new windows in here, and that property even look better. It looks solid from the back right now, and the backyard looks solid, as you can see. But you can look at just the framing at the top, the gutters. You can see, because it's a brick home, hey, this house property is not very old, probably built in the 1940s or whatnot, but it stands the test of times, especially in the Midwest, where you deal with cold winters, and like the worst winter we ever had in the past probably 20 years last year. This property looks good. A lot of frames may not. We'll show you a frame in our next video, but just want to show you brick. And you can see it doesn't even have those standard security doors that I prefer, but it has those bars. It still look okay. It still look like a very good property, move-in ready. As we go on the side, it doesn't have glass blocks, if you can look here. However, it's got the little bar strip, but it still makes the property look safe. You can do that more with a brick home. You can drill into brick homes because of the tuck points and everything else, because it's brick. Frame, you might have to take off a piece of the siding and then replace it. Things of that nature. Wear and tear on vinyl siding, aluminum siding. After probably 10 years, either it changes colors and you have to paint it, or if it's vinyl, you probably just replace it. However, when you look at brick, pretty much, if it does change colors, it's not real noticeable. The brick all changes in different variations together, you know. So, and also you can see the side where most foundations here are brick anyway. So if you get a frame house, it's framed from the basement up. You know, who makes a basement that's not brick? But even looking at the front of the house, you see that it's in pretty good shape. In fact, this house is, I don't believe anybody's living in it, at least from the information I gathered. But it's a solid house. You got a lot of brick. You know, some of the moldings need to be painted and everything. You can replace the awning, cut a couple bushes down. This house looks great. And that's the potential with a brick home, is the solidarity of it. However, the cons of having a brick is that they cost more. Meaning, if you want to buy one, you know, you might get a frame in a good neighborhood, move-in ready, let's say for 18, 17. Brick 22 and 23 automatically. Even though like this house, it could be some updates with, like I say, with glass blocks. You probably need to see if the windows are, you know, energy efficient. If not, you may need to update that, depending on the market in the area. Another thing is, you know, you got the gutter flow, the roof. Well, really foundation wise, you don't have a lot of issues with these properties, but that's anywhere, like I said, with brick or frame, because the basement is primarily brick. But even leaks inside the house, or issues there, you won't have that with aluminum frame. Anything can get into one of those grooves or those vinyl sidings or aluminum sidings and cause a problem. So just want to give you guys an update of why brick is preferred, because a lot of out of country investors, that's what they deal with in England, Australia. So brick is king. In Detroit, you got predominantly brick, then you do frame, so that's another reason. So the margins are a little different there. Outside of Detroit, suburban areas, you probably can get either or. It's just then a buyer's choice, because you're dealing with more of a retail market. If you're looking for rental, brick lasts longer. A vinyl siding, aluminum siding, they can tear up the house easier. So that's what you got to look at too if you're renting it out. Kids could tear up some stuff. They can run rampant on a property. With brick, you ain't got to really worry about but the inside. The outside's really not going to be destroyed or damaged as bad. Besides maybe the grass and the awning and things of that nature, and windows. But you ain't got to worry about the structure of the house, the look of the house. This house visually is going to look like this for another 20 or 30 years, probably after I'm gone. But you can change variations of it. While a vinyl property is going to be different. I also want to let you know what a brick, I'm only going to show one side of the street, but what a brick neighborhood looks like. It's just more pleasing. Nothing against frame, but you got so many different variations in frame and color. If you look down here, as I roll, you see all the brick homes. And some of them are vacant, but you couldn't tell because the neighborhood keeps it up. Secondly, they're brick, so they all have a standard look. It's like when you go through a subdivision, if you're familiar with that, they have a standard look, so they don't look too much off base. When you're dealing with frame, you have blue, you have yellow, you have different colors, whoever bought it and framed it. So those are the things you have to look at, and that's not always appealing. And if the frame is dirty, vinyl siding, aluminum siding, peeling, it's less pleasing. With brick, you don't have to worry about that. And that condition on the outside doesn't have to be in your estimate of rehab or your estimate of refurbishment. Because if you're doing a rental, anything that won't last past 10 years, in my book, you replace. So if the siding don't look like it's going to last 10 years, you got to replace that. That's another cost. With brick, you don't have that. But that's officiated in the price when you buy it. So just a heads up on you guys to understand why brick is preferred over frame. And I would say it's not a dramatic difference. It's just what the customer wants. So you have to please the customer, especially in Detroit. So pretty much that's it for today. I just want to give you guys a quick video, and this is the brick episode. You probably say it's not a lot of cons you say with brick. Well, the price is one of the biggest cons of it, but it's also a pro because it's long-term investment. It's not a short-term investment, so you have to think of that also. So as always, I appreciate you guys' feedbacks, comments. I will reply. If you like this video, click like. If you want to see more videos, click on the watch more of Chris Holcomb TV. Also check out my website, cnhgroup.wordpress.com. So once again, cnhgroup.wordpress.com. It'll be a link down there, so you can go ahead and check out that. I have deals and a lot of other information on my website also. So as always, you guys stay focused, stay focused, and stay consistent, and I'll catch you on the next video.